Well, let's get started. Let me ask you first of all, everybody, would you please mute yourself so that we don't have any interruptions coming along today? But welcome. I'm Rick Kateman. Thank you for joining us today on this beautiful Saturday morning in May, which is the Memorial Day weekend. And it's my pleasure to share with you today what I've learned about the OPTAVIA business model and compensation plan. And the reason I care about sharing this with people is because if I hadn't heard fundamentally what I'm going to be sharing with you this morning in 2009, we wouldn't be here right now. Because I wouldn't be an OPTAVIA coach. Everything that I learned about OPTAVIA was sensational. I was successful on the program. Luis and I lost weight, a lot of weight very quickly in 2007. We've kept it off for going on 14 years now. But because the health program was bulletproof didn't mean that I wanted to be a health coach, except that it became necessary for me to find an alternative to my career as a lawyer, and Louisa to find an alternative to her career as a court reporter in 2009, because we were desperately in need of time. We had all the finances we needed. We were very successful in our legal profession careers, but those legal profession careers, the penalty we paid for that success was time. I worked 85 hours a week. She worked 65 hours a week. We had 5-year-old twins we never got to see. I would leave at the crack of dawn, sometimes going out of town for a trial, and I'd watch my babies sleeping. That was not the idea I had of a dad when we were lucky enough to have twins in 2004. And Louisa was suffering the same thing. She would turn those babies over to a nanny while she went to her 65-hour-a-week successful career as a court reporter, and have to suffer coming home at night and have the nanny telling her how wonderful her children were. We were desperate for an alternative. And when our coaches had shared with us for 2 years about becoming coaches, and we finally had ears to hear when we'd had enough when our babies were 5 and we weren't getting to see them. So we checked this out, went to the conference in 2009, and that's where the game changed. We spent 2.5 days at that conference, and part of that conference was going to a workshop. And I can't remember who shared the compensation plan at that workshop, but it was what I'm going to share with you today that made the difference for me to hear. Now I can see how I've got an off-ramp to my legal profession career that will give me the opportunity to be able to have an opportunity to maintain our lifestyle we've been lucky enough to build, but more importantly, to do it on a part-time basis. So I could be a full-time dad, a full-time husband, and enjoy the wonderful life I've been blessed to have with the family I have. But what I also saw, and this is important for those of you who are new or thinking about becoming a coach, maybe you don't want a business, an OPTAVIA business where you're building a big career and a lot of money. Maybe all you want is like so many coaches want, and that is, can I just work a few hours a week and maybe make $1,000, $1,500 a month? There are lots and lots of coaches that do that. And that's why I created a flyer about this presentation today that talks about this being the perfect compensation plan. I am going to share my screen, so bear with me a minute while I do that, and hopefully if I've got a little bit of technical skill, you'll be able to take a look at this. Can everybody see that?
Yes,
okay,
we
good.
see it.
Good. All right, so we're going to be talking about the compensation plan today, but what we really want to talk about, what I want you to walk away with, is that this is the perfect compensation plan. And not just because Rick Kateman thinks so, but because everybody who is an experienced coach with this program, with OPTAVIA, who has experienced how they get compensated for the work that they do, has found out that it works for everybody. If you do it, it works. And it works to the level you want it to be. So if you're just a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids whose husband works full-time and you need to make a little extra money to make sure there's money at the end of the month, so the house payment can be made or the car payment can be made, or that you can save enough money over a year so that when your family has an opportunity to go on vacation, you've saved enough money to pay for a family vacation. We have coaches in our team. That's the reason they're coaches. That's all they need or want. That's their definition of freedom. That's their definition of abundance. And they're happy as clam, and they've been doing that for years. And then we have people on the other end the spectrum, like Luis and I, who need an off-ramp from careers that either have gone away and they need to replace that income or grow it beyond that. And this perfect compensation plan will give them the opportunity to do that too. So what I want to go over today, though, is what I heard, the basics. I'm not going to go into every single detail and nuance of how the compensation plan works, but I'm hopefully going to give you enough information so that you're going to be able to see and hear exactly how it works, and not only how it can be applied by you in the business model to reach your goals, but also how you can learn enough from this to be able to share with your coaches or people who are curious about becoming a coach, so that they can understand how this compensation plan and this business model will help them reach the goals that they want to have. So let's talk a little bit about what being an OPTAVIA coach and getting compensated as an OPTAVIA coach is all about. It is not about winning the lottery. It is not about us as OPTAVIA coaches or OPTAVIA in general attracting people to becoming OPTAVIA coaches because we're dangling a money grows on trees opportunity, because money does not grow on trees. And I share this disclaimer with you because it's very important for every one of us to understand that it takes effort, it takes business effort, it takes learning skills, it takes applying those skills to build a business anywhere, and OPTAVIA is no different. So what it boils down to is OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. I certainly don't. And we can only have success in this perfect compensation plan and this business model from our own successful business efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. And the more we exercise and learn and apply those things, the more success we're going to have. But the good news is we don't have to do it by ourselves. We are in business by ourselves, or we are in business for ourselves, but we are not in business by ourselves. Because if you're someone who is just joining us today and you're not a coach yet, but you're here because you're curious, you're wondering, how does this work? I don't know anything about how to coach clients on the OPTAVIA program. I don't even know what the OPTAVIA program is yet. Or maybe I've been on the 501, I understand that, but I know there are other programs. I don't know what to do. How am I going to learn this? Well, the beauty of it is all of the training is absolutely free, done by the people who have already developed the skills and developed the business models that are going to allow you to go where you want to go. So having said that, then how do we get paid, and what do we get paid for? Well, as most of all of you know, the only revenue that comes to OPTAVIA comes through clients purchasing the fuelings that OPTAVIA has created and offers to us in order for us to get healthy. And those fuelings, when they're purchased by a client, go up to OPTAVIA, and OPTAVIA in turn takes those dollars that those clients spend and gives them to us in the form of compensation for performing the service of coaching, not for performing the service of selling fuelings. Fuelings have to be sold, fuelings have to be purchased, of course, but it's our efforts, our work, and actually performing the services of coaching that we are paid for. And what this graphic represents is we are paid for coaching in two different areas. One, we're paid for helping clients be successful on one of the health programs that are appropriate for them, whether it's the 5-in-1 or one of our non-weight loss protocols that people might be on. But we get paid to coach people on the programs they are using to reach their health goals. And that is what this represents, just building a business, doing nothing more than helping people get healthy on one or more of our programs. What this graphic represents over here is that we also get paid to help people build an OPTAVIA coaching business. So we perform the service of coaching people as clients over here, and over here we coach and support and mentor coaches to help them grow a business. The same thing that our coaches did with us. And if you're a coach today, the same thing that your coaches and your team are doing for you. We get paid for that. And what I want to show you today is how that actually works, how we get paid, how much we get paid, so that you can have an idea of what you want to build, what it takes for you to build your business, either client focused or coach focused, and how you can grow your income by doing that. So basically, we get paid for doing three things based on competency. First of all, we get paid on that client supporting basis. We get paid for acquiring and supporting clients. And so when we acquire a client and that client raises their hand and says, I'd like to go on the 5-in-1 like Luis and I did 14 years ago, our coaches got paid by OPTAVIA from the dollars we spent at OPTAVIA for purchasing the fuelings, and so will you. Then in that second model, we also get paid for sponsoring and mentoring coaches. And then we can also get paid for building and leading teams of coaches. So they come into three progressive areas: the coaching income based on personal client orders. So that if you're helping a client and that client purchases his or her fuelings from OPTAVIA, you're going to be paid from those dollars spent at OPTAVIA. But if you're also coaching, if you decide you want to coach coaches as well, you're going to be paid from their coach income, from their client income, based on the revenues generated by those coaches if they are not executive directors yet. And many of you may not know what an executive director is. And if you do, then this is self-explanatory. But then the business leader income, where very large potential incomes are an opportunity, this is where we get paid based on revenues generated by clients from teams of executive directors in groups of teams. So this basically breaks down into three sources of income that we have available to us. One is helping clients. One is helping coaches build their OPTAVIA business. And third is the area where we're helping teams of coaches build their business. And every bit of our revenue, each of these buckets comes from only one source, and that is clients purchasing fuelings from OPTAVIA. The chairman of the board gets paid from those dollars. The people that fill up the boxes of the fuelings and send them to our clients and us, they get paid from those dollars, and we get paid from those dollars. So let's take a look at what that actually really is. Let's take the look at what the health coach's income is for when you're just helping clients and supporting them to reach their health goals. What OPTAVIA has created in the business model is a business structure label for every progressive area of growth that a coach goes through in terms of helping people. What that means is that when you become a coach with OPTAVIA, you're a health coach. And that means you may have no clients whatsoever, or you may have up to 4 who are purchasing less than $1,200 a month. The label for that business structure is health coach. And I'm emphasizing the term business structure. I would like you not to think of each of these as ranks. It's natural to kind of do that, but what we really need to understand is these represent business structures, the size of our business and the structure of that business. And so if you're a beginning coach and you have 1, 2, or 3 clients who you're helping on the program, you're a health coach. But as soon as you start to help more people get healthy, and you've got 5 people who are spending up to $1,200 a month, your business structure is now called senior coach. And if you're helping more than 5 people and they're spending over $1,200 and up to $2,400 a month, your business structure name is now manager, and so on up to executive director, where you're helping about 17 or more people. They're spending about $6,000 in a calendar month, and the definition of your business structure is executive director. Let's take a look at what that looks like from an organizational standpoint. That senior coach I was telling you about, helping 5 people who are spending at least $1,200 a month. That is what that looks like. Here you are, you're the coach, and you're helping 5 people. They're spending a minimum of $1,200, and you're impacting about 4 to 6 lives every month. And this is about what you get on average. I'm going to show you more detail about that later. But what does an executive director look like? This is where you're helping 17 or more people who are spending a minimum of $6,000 in fuelings every month. And this is what your business structure looks like. So you can help 5 people as a senior coach, or if you want to help more people, you can build a business that you're helping more people all the way up to executive director, so that you're going to make a whole lot more money, and up to $2,400 a month on average as an executive director. This is just helping clients. What does that look like? How does that come out in terms of real time, in terms of what you're doing on a daily basis? If you're a senior coach, that's what this level is, and you're helping people spending less than $1,200 a month, you're going to be paid 15% of every dollar they spend on fuelings if you're not certified. If you become certified, the company's going to give you a bonus of 3%. So instead of receiving 15% of every dollar they spend at OPTAVIA, you're going to get 18%. and so on. If you become senior coach, you're now going to get a 5% raise. And if you become an executive director, you're going to get a 13% raise, so that you're going to receive, if you're certified, up to 31% of every dollar they spend. That's how that $2,400 a month that I showed you in that last graphic comes about. Well, what does that mean? What does that look like in life in terms of helping just clients? What it means is as a practical matter, there is a cap on how much money you can earn where you're only holding clients. There's a ceiling. And the reason for that is it takes time to acquire clients. It takes time to support those clients if you acquire them. And as I showed you that becoming an executive director, if you're helping 17 clients, you're going to be able to make about $2,400. But what if you want to make $4,800? Well, that means you're going to have to help about 34 clients or more. And that takes more time, but each of us only has 24 hours in a day. So there's only so many people we can help directly where we are performing the service of coaching clients. And that's why this graphic that I'm showing you here has a ceiling on it. If you only help 5 clients, maybe this is where you are and that's where you're happy and you're making $500, $600 a month. Or you're an executive director helping 34 clients and you're making $4,800 or perhaps more. But there's going to be a practical ceiling on that. And the best way to describe that is thinking this as the concept of addition. You're adding people. That means you're adding income, but you're also adding time, and there's only so much time in a day. So this is the concept of addition, but you're basically trading time for money in just helping clients. And if that's satisfactory to you, if that meets your definition of abundance and what you need as a coach, that's just fine. This is perfect for you then. Let's see what that looks like in real time. For the purposes of this example, I've assumed that the average monthly order of a client that you're supporting, just helping clients, is $385. It might be more, it might be less, but I'm using $385 in this example. And the reason is that's basically where Louisa and I fall in our business when we're helping clients in terms of the average monthly order of someone who's on the 5-in-1 while they're on the 5-in-1. So if you help 10 clients a month and they're on the 5-in-1 and they're spending $385 a month, you're going to be in that category where you're going to be earning an associate director 27% of what they spend, which means just helping 10 clients a month, you're going to be able to earn $1,000 every month. So that every month you help 10 clients, you're going to make $1,000. We have a lot of coaches on our team who are plenty happy just doing this day in and day out, year in and year out. And I mean 6-8 years they've been doing that. And they're stay-at-home moms and they only want to work 2, 3, 4 hours a month at most. And they're happy to do this. And this compensation plan is perfect for them for that. But if you want to earn more than that and you help just 20 clients a month and they're spending an average of $385, you're now having clients who spend over $6,000 a month. You're earning 31% if you're certified. And that means you're making about $2,400 a month just helping 20 clients. So if you want to earn more than $2,400 a month, you help 10 more clients at 31%, or 20 or 40 clients, which is going to double this. And so that's how the more people you help, the more income OPTAVIA rewards us with. And that's what it's all about. It's all about performing the service of coaching people. That's how we help them. We don't help them by convincing them to purchase fuelings, but we help them by helping them succeed on the program. And that's where the skill of coaching comes in. So in addition to being paid up to 31% of the revenue that OPTAVIA receives from our clients when they purchase fuelings, we also are given bonuses when we're helping just clients. And those bonuses look like this. If we're helping clients who are purchasing at least $2,000 per month, and that averages that for 3 months in a row, every 3 months, in addition to that percentage that we're entitled to get, who have clients purchasing this amount of fuelings, we're going to get an additional $250 every 3 months. But if we're helping more clients, we get rewarded. And if our clients are purchasing $4,000 to $5,999 in fuelings every month, now every 3 months, in addition to the percentage we get paid on that, we get a $500 bonus. And if we're an executive director and we're helping clients who are spending $6,000 a month or more, every 3 months, that we do that, we get another $1,000 bonus. And that adds up to $4,000 a year as a bonus, in addition to the 31% we receive as an executive director for helping that many clients. So it can be exceptionally rewarding just helping clients. And if that's the kind of result you're looking for, the kind of financial goal you're looking for, then helping clients alone, it could be just right for you in terms of becoming a coach. And this is what that looks like in terms of averages. What I'm showing you here is the actual amount of monthly income received on an average basis by all of the people that were at these business structures for the 6-month period, January through June 2013. And what the company did is they decided they wanted to see what that looked like in terms of real-time numbers, in terms of the coaches that were participating as coaches during that 6-month period. So they tracked exactly what they paid people. And this is what it came out to be. If you're an executive director and in those 6-month period, the average was $2,842.70, which was on average higher than the example that I showed you. And this was 8 years ago. So the company hasn't shown us any of these numbers like this since that time, but I can tell you from my own experience and the experience of our coaches and our team, this is pretty consistent. Again, this is not a promise that this is what you're going to earn, because that's going to depend on how much effort you put in to learning the skills and applying those skills and helping the number of people that you help. But this is pretty accurate in our experience in terms of what can be expected if you're willing to do the work. So I just got done talking to you about client focused, but what if you want to make more money than that? What if your goal, your need is greater than what can be earned by helping just clients alone? And that's what Louisa and I were looking for when we checked this out in 2009. And I want to show you what that looks like and what the opportunity is, because that's where the game changes dramatically in terms of what's available to you in terms of helping other coaches build their businesses and or helping teams of coaches build their teams of businesses. So we're going to be talking about business coach income for this purposes of this portion of what I want to share with you. But I want to show you this so you could have an idea of what it looks like when you're helping coaches. And this is an example that Dan Bell, and this is why I took it from him, that really gives a really good idea of how you can expand your income helping other coaches. If you're just you and you've got 10 hours to devote a week to building your OPTAVIA business, you're only going to get the result that those 10 hours that you're devoting to your business are going to produce. But what if you're helping 10 people and they each have 10 hours a week that they can devote to their OPTAVIA businesses? The amount of revenue that you receive helping, just doing this by yourself and helping clients, is going to be at that cap I was telling you about. There's only so much time in a day that you have. But if you're helping 10 coaches and they're helping the number of clients they're helping, and you're getting paid from the revenue those clients generate in addition to the revenue on your own clients, now you've got a business that is working for you without you having to do the work, other than training your coaches so that they can grow their business to their level. And that's what I saw in 2009 that caused me to say, this is something that makes sense to me. But what does that look like? Now you no longer have a cap on your income. If you're helping coaches build their businesses and you're getting paid a portion of every dollar their clients spend, your opportunity for your growth has no ceiling on it whatsoever. It's just a question of how many coaches you can help build their business and how successful they are in receiving your help to build their business for this to happen. Now, I just got done sharing with you how the structure for helping clients alone looks in terms of the labels we give to those business structures. The labels that the business structure has that OPTAVIA provides for helping coaches build their business look like this. And this is just the names for those business structures, but each one is larger than the one before it. And that means more people are being helped, more coaches are helping more people, and the label recognizes that, and the income goes up accordingly because we're paid more as we help more people. And as more coaches come on and help more people, again, the compensation increases accordingly. So what does that look like? Now, let me see here. Here's an integrated executive director. I showed you an executive director before, the organizational chart, and this is 17 people. But an integrated executive director also is helping coaches. And in this example, in order to have a business structure labeled integrated executive director, you're helping 5 coaches. And each of those coaches have reached the level of helping people that their business designation is senior coach. And look at the difference between what the income was from executive director. That was up to $2,400, but because you're getting paid not only from your clients, but from the clients' revenue of these senior coaches, now your opportunity for income has increased dramatically. And that's an example of the difference between helping clients alone or helping clients and coaches. The next opportunity up is integrated regional director. And this is where you're an integrated executive director, but at least one of your senior coaches has grown their business to the level of executive director. And now you're helping a lot more of people get healthy. And also because you're helping coaches and they're helping a lot of people, your income grows accordingly. And if you're helping 3 coaches reach the executive director level and you're an executive director level yourself, now look what happens in terms of your income going up. That is significant increase. And this is what I saw in 2009. If I help enough people grow their businesses while I'm helping clients get healthy on the program on a consistent basis, year after year, I can reach this fairly quickly. And I'm not going to share with you how quickly Luis and I reached this level, but we were pleasantly surprised at how quickly that happened. And if you want to make even more income, I don't have the number here, but I'm going to show you the average in a minute. The global director is a business structure designation where you are helping 5 coaches at a minimum build their business to the executive director level while you're also still helping the number of clients who are spending $6,000 a month. And this average, don't have it listed here. This average is about $18,000 a month in the previous example I showed you. So an integrated global director now is not where you're helping executive directors, but now you've helped 5 people become integrated executive directors, which is also called fully integrated business coach. And this amount is significantly higher, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute. So how does that happen though? How do we get paid to be able to earn those significantly larger incomes? Well, the way that works is that if I'm a regional director and I have one coach on my team who's an executive director, I'm going to get paid 2.5% of that coach's revenue from his clients, in addition to when he's getting the 31% or she's getting the 31%. And the bigger I help people build their businesses, if I become an integrated regional director where I have one executive director, but they have under them an executive director, now I've doubled the percentage that I'm receiving from all of the client income coming from my team's businesses. And so on, the bigger you build your business, I showed you up the global director and integrated global director. If we have coaches on our teams where I've got 5 executive directors and they have in themselves an executive director in their team, and that coach has an executive director in their team and so on, now as an integrated global director, I'm not making 2.5%. I'm not making 5% or 7 or 9. I'm now making 10.5% of every dollar that all of these coaches, clients, and their teams are generating every single month. And that's why that graph goes up as dramatically as it does. So this is what that looks like in terms of those averages I was showing you up to here for just clients, helping clients, and up to the executive director level. But when you decide that you would like to earn more and you help people build their business, their own coaching business, these are the averages that existed in 2013 for integrated executive director. Does it help to help people build their own business as coaches? Well, I'd say so. This is what I saw in 2009, is that my income can go up dramatically between an executive director if I just help 5 people become senior coach and nothing more, as while I'm helping 22 clients get healthy on the program. I can almost double my income. But what if I help one person become a regional director and I'm also have 4 other people who are senior coaches? That makes me an integrated regional director. Now my income has gone up even more. But what if I'm an integrated national director and look at this average income? That's over $100,000 a year reaching integrated national director. That was Louisa's and I original goal, because that's what we needed to match her income to bring her home. And she came home in 2010. We started in 2009. And here's that $18,000 per month figure that I showed you for helping 5 people reach and build a business, an executive director business. Help 5 people do that. And that is the average that was paid in 2013 over the 6-month period, January through June of 2013. This is what I saw in 2013, and I was looking to be able to match or exceed our joint legal profession income. And look what happens if you become an integrated global director. This is the average income that an integrated global director received in 2013. Now, to reach that average, that means there are integrated global directors who make a lot less than that, but there are also integrated global directors that make more than that. That's how this average works out. So I'm looking at this in 2013, and you may be looking at this right now and saying, that's really possible. And the answer is yes, working part-time. And I'm talking, by that I mean less than 40 hours a week. Louisa and I have been doing this for going on 13 years, and neither one of us have ever worked 40 hours a week on our business. So this is what is possible. And I want to give you the opportunity to ask questions, because I've gone very quickly through this, and hopefully this has given you a picture of the structure of our business model, how we get paid helping clients, and how we get paid helping coaches. And this is the disclosure statement that was produced in 2019, the income disclosure statement. This is available if you're a coach in your back office. If you're not a coach and you're here but invited by a coach, reach out to that coach and they'll share this with you as well. This is what we get, folks. As a coach in OPTAVIA, we get to define what freedom means to us, and this perfect compensation plan will deliver that to us. So thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure for me. I hope I didn't rush through this too quickly, but if you want to ask questions, please feel free.
I don't have a question, but I have an addition.
Yes, please.
This was a broad overview. You know, the nitty gritty gets a little detailed, but hopefully all of you got the gist of the opportunity that is there before you. What we didn't share was, and one bonus, I don't think you shared about it, honey, when you become a fully integrated business coach, we call it an FIBC, there's an additional bonus. So when you are an executive director yourself, having a 6,000 frontline volume, and you have 5 coaches that have reached senior coach, meaning those 5 coaches each have 5 clients, you become what we call a fully integrated business coach, FIBC. And when you hold that for 3 months, there's an additional $1,000 bonus every 3 months. So these competencies, we call them FIBC, and then there's a FIBL, fully integrated business leader after that, are milestones that we want to reach. And once you reach some of these milestones, you want to hold it there. You know, you don't want to go backwards. Obviously, you want to stick there and continue on. So once you reach that 6,000 frontline volume, and you're going to get that $1,000 bonus, consistency bonus every 3 months, then you're bringing on those 5 coaches that become senior coaches, and you're an FIBC, and you're going to get another $1,000 bonus every 3 months. And those are nice little bonuses. That's a total of $8,000 a year in bonuses. And that's a nice competency to reach and strive for, of course. And then you move on to fully integrated business leader, which is becoming having 5 coaches under you that are executive directors, and they each have 5 senior coaches under them. So they are FIBCs. So a fully integrated business leader is having 5 executive directors that each are FIBCs under them, which each have 5 senior coaches. So that structure builds. But that's when you saw that huge leap from $18,000 a month as a global director to a fully integrated global director to $53,000 a month, because your business, it has exponentially grown since then. So those are huge milestones that we all aspire to be, but there's great benefits and reward in the dollars. when you get there.
Rick, there was a question in the chat about certification. I typed an answer, but you might want to address it. And I don't know if maybe we want to stop the screen share so we can see.
Yes, I can. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, the chat, see, what's the question in the chat about?
How do we become certified?
Okay, certified is very simple and it's not expensive. It costs $200, a flat fee of $200. It's an online course which you get to take at your pace. So you get to go in and out and take the course, and it's not difficult, but it's very valuable. It is more than worth the $200, because for that 3% bonus that I described to you, you're going to get, if you're just an executive director, that difference between 28% and 31% is $180. The cost of the certification is $200. In the first month, you paid yourself back for that in terms of the increased revenue you're getting, but you're getting that increased revenue every single month for the rest of your life thereafter. So it not getting certified, it means you're going to leave money on the table, but more importantly, what you will learn in that certification course is going to give you the knowledge and ability to coach your clients better. And the better we can coach our clients, the more likely it is they're going to succeed. The more we have successful clients, the more they're going to be telling the world about how great this program is, which means you're going to get referrals of clients. So the bottom line is how well we coach. Makes a big difference in how many people we get to help, and that makes a big difference in how well we get paid.
Yeah. The nice thing about that certification is you can take it on the last day of the month, and it will be retroactive all of your orders, for that throughout that whole month. So usually, listen to your business leader, of course, but usually when our coaches, right around senior coach manager, and they have 5, 6, 7, 8 clients, and hey, let's take that certification and earn an extra 3% for the whole month. So.
And just to give you an example of time, I know I didn't spend a lot of time on that, but I'm going to share a little bit about what Louise and I did. When we started, I told you I was working 85 hours a week. She was working 65. We carved out, after seeing this, we saw that if we take 8 hours a week, just 8 hours a week, and apply that to building our OPTAVIA business, being mentored by our coaches, showing up and saying, Coach, what do I do next? Because we had to learn the skills. We didn't know them. We didn't know a thing about it other than what we had lost our weight on the 5 and 1. That's all we knew. So what do I do, Coach? And we did that 8 hours a week, repeatedly, over and over and over again. That executive director level that I told you about, where the average income was $2,800 on the graphic I showed you, we reached that in about 100 days. Our first check was $3,400. We were greater than the average because we were helping about 30 people. It took us that long, working just 8 hours a week. A year later, working 8 hours a week, we were integrated national directors. This was before there was an integrated label. This was in 2010, but we were at that level, earning that level of income, and we were matching Louisa's salary, working 8 hours a week. And that's when she got to come home and be a full-time mommy and not have to hear the nanny tell her how wonderful her kids were, but she got to do it herself. And that's when I started closing my law firm, and we kept building from there until we matched my income and more, and I closed my law firm and I came home to be a full-time dad. 8 hours a week to start. It doesn't take more than that. All it takes from you and me is the willingness to use whatever time we devote, whatever time we choose, to learning the skills and applying them. And that will only happen if you reach up to your sponsoring coach and to your mentor team and be receptive and learn from them the skills that they're going to transfer to you and show you how to apply those skills. And if you do that, it's only a question of time. It's only a question of time, not if, before you reach whatever your goal is.
There's one more bonus we forgot to talk about too. See, it just gets better and better. It's the elite bonus. And that is once you hit national director, and that is where you're executive director and you have one executive director under you. You are now, I'm sorry, 3. You're an executive director and you have 3 executive directors under you. You are now that national director category structure. And I think the average national director was making 7,000 or 8,000 a month, if I remember the chart correctly. But then
Yes.
you get another bonus, and now you receive 0.5% of your entire group volume, and your whole group volume is everything under you, all your coaches and their clients' orders and their coaches and their clients' orders in your organization. So you have a group, and it's called a qualified group qualified volume. So you receive 0.5% of that entire group volume. And when you get to national director, throwing out a number, you might have a group volume of $100,000 a month in orders that are being purchased every month for your whole team, your whole organization. So 0.5% of 100,000 is another $500 bonus that you get every month. Now, when you move up to global director, you're going to receive another 0.5%. So now you have a 1%. Your global director, you're getting 1% of your group volume. Now, of course, as you go up in rank or structure, your business grows. So maybe as a new global director, you're $200,000 a month. 1% of 200,000 is $2,000 that you're receiving every month consistently. Then when you get to presidential, of course, your business grows even bigger, and you're going to now get another 0.5%. So 1.5 total percent. And believe it or not, presidentials are their group volumes, 500, 600, $1 million a month and up. So you do the math. I mean, at $1 million a month group volume, 1.5% is about $15,000 in a bonus, just a bonus, in addition to all that other stuff. So
that's why that chart shows it going up. There's no cap on that. There's no cap on that.
And what I love about this, and I think if people are in a regular 9-to-5 job and they're an employee and they're trading time for money, I was a court reporter. I used to be paid by the page. So I was nose to the grindstone. You know, if I was not producing, I wasn't making a dime. And a lot of us are in that type of industry where you're getting paid by the hour, you're salaried, or you're in production, and you have to spend your time to earn money. And if you take some time off, you go on vacation or you get sick, you might have some vacation pay, but you really do not earn money while you're sleeping. So residual income is earning income while you're sleeping. And what I love about this business is the time freedom it gives you, because the peace of mind that you can continue to earn income when you're not actually working. It's amazing. It's amazing. So
that happened to us. That happened to us, by the way.
It totally happened to us. But what I love about this business, and once you become national, global, and presidential, I kind of look at it as a little wildfire, because you're the leader and you have coaches under you who have clients, and then you have coaches under them who have clients, and coaches under them who have clients. And all of the coaches under you are building their business for their purposes. They're not building it for you. So they're continuing to grow and to persevere and to add on clients and coaches. And it just kind of takes its own life. You know, you can't stop it. It's everyone's own life, and they're growing and growing and growing. So it continues to grow down, deep, wide, down, wide. You know, it gets bigger and bigger, and your group volume continues to grow, and you continue to earn those percentages. And it's a really wonderful thing. It is worth your time. If you're just starting out, it is worth every minute of your time to get this going and to build it and let it get to a level where it is really moving forward and sustaining itself. It's a beautiful life, you guys. Beautiful life.
Hey, Louisa, I have a quick question.
Go ahead, Margaret.
Same
Are we
here.
having any fun yet?
Yeah, we're having fun.
I have a question, something I want to share, because it came up in the chat. The question was asked if, as married couples, we could have more than one business. And the answer to that is no. And we have Rick here, who's an attorney with us, but that is part of our the terms of becoming a business. If you are legally married, you automatically own one business. If your husband chooses to join you, mine joined, I know Rick joined Louisa and they started together. Mine joined me after 3 years, but it's one business if you're legally married. Now, if you have a partner, and that you aren't legally married to, you can have two businesses. And a lot of you, know probably people in the business who have to. Great question.
Yeah, and by the way, just a little side story about Louisa and I getting started on this. I told you we started in 2009 when we went to the conference. Actually, Louisa was a coach by herself without me participating starting in 2008. And she had lost 30 pounds of baby weight in 2007, and she wanted to help her mommy friends. And so she talked to our coach, Teresa, and said, sign me up as a coach. I need to learn how to do this. I gotta help my mommy friends. And that's all she wanted to do. Rick was over here, not even interested in the slightest bit at that point, but great, help your mommy friends. All she literally cared about was helping her mommy friends. She never turned in a single tax document to OPTAVIA to get paid. She coached, I don't know how many people for a whole year, never got a nickel. Now, when we first went to 2009 to the convention that I went, the first words I heard out of Dr. A's mouth from the stage at the opening ceremony was, I started this OPTAVIA because I'm on a mission to make America healthy. And I'm looking for people who want to join me in that mission. And therefore, if you have a heart for helping people, you've got the qualifications to become an OPTAVIA coach. Not if you just want to make money, because we don't pay you to sell food, we pay you to coach. So if you've got a heart for helping people, and Louise had already been doing that for a year and never getting paid. So when I was there and I saw the opportunity that would give us an off-ramp for our careers and let us replace trading time for money to being able to build a life around our business around our life rather than the other way around. And I heard that and we signed up. I said, let's turn in the paperwork so you can get paid for that year you're doing. And guess what? When she turned in the paperwork, OPTAVIA paid her all the money that she had been entitled to for that year. But she was motivated to do it just because she wanted to help people.
Yeah.
I love the story. I didn't know that, as long as I've known you guys. And it's still the same. If you do not do your paperwork and submit your, what is it, a 10, what?
It's a W-4 or W-9, a W-9.
Whatever. Two? No, W-2 is for an employee. So you have to fill it in. They will just hold that income until you do.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'd love to hear from some of the leaders here if they'd like to, add a little 2 cents. We have Stacy and Pat and Cheryl and Jonelle and who am I seeing? If you guys want to add anything. Margaret.
Sure. One of the things I wanted to share with you guys, thank you for doing this. This was amazing. Was when Rick, you were talking about time before and about starting and a little bit of time. Whether you're a couple, whether you're individual, whether you're working full time, whether you have 8 kids, whether you have no kids, it's according to what your needs are, like Rick said. Don't say, oh my gosh, they've been doing this X amount of years and there's 2 of them and there's only 1 of me. There is no timeline here. You can be brand new and surpass all of us. You can take 10 years, 12 years. It doesn't matter. When I first started, really quick, I worked a 40-hour work week. And I started, like Lisa, just helping people and just wanting to help people. I lost 100 pounds and I wanted everyone to do this. And I got paid for the first time. I was ED in 6 weeks, like you guys. And I'll never forget. And I have the worst memory. My husband's sitting on one chair, I'm on the other. And I look in where we get paid in our Connect, our back office back then. I've been doing this about 6 years. And I go, oh my God, they made a mistake. My husband says, what are you talking about? I go, they paid me too much. He goes, don't say anything. I said, I have to. I got to call them up. I called them up because I got like $3,500 and I didn't really do anything as far as I was concerned. I called them up and they were like, oh yeah, they're laughing at me. They go, we get these calls all the time. No, we paid you right. And at that point, I was like, oh my goodness, how can I squeeze this in? We waste a lot of time, guys. We're all super, super busy. What are you busy doing? Because you're not. I don't care if you have 6 kids, 3 jobs, and 5 houses. You're not that busy. So just look at what you're doing. I just gave up TV or whatever your thing is. This can be squeezed in, like Rick was saying before. Work harder, smarter, not harder. If you don't lean into your mentorship, you're going to work harder. You're going to spin your wheels. just follow their lead and you will shine in your time.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you, Stacy.
I'd like to add,
Yeah,
I know a lot of you on the call, but not all of you. And I'm like Rick and Louisa, been around for 14 years. Thing I've ever done. I can't even imagine what our life would be like. And, when I started, and we don't talk a lot about compensation. So thank you, Rick. And you did an amazing job. You and Louisa both. Thank you. When I started, my goal was a financial goal. Yeah, I lost 70 pounds and I can't even imagine what my health would be like. I had already lost a mother to an obesity related disease. We didn't know then what we know now, but my goal was a financial goal. We raised 4 kids. My husband traveled the whole time. I say I raised 4 kids, then he came home. And that was a goal. I wanted $10,000 a month to get him home and out of corporate America, because it was our best friend and our worst enemy, when he turned 50. And it was a financial goal that I helped myself. I was helping others, but I wanted $10,000 a month. It was a 5-year goal. We did it in 3 years and we have never looked back. Now, my goal was to bring him home to help me in this business. All he heard was to bring him home. So now he golfs 7 days a week and, we still have a great life. But whatever your goal is, and it's okay to have a financial goal, because you know what? We do so much good to help people while we're creating income for us. It's okay. Money allows us to do so many wonderful things. And don't be afraid to have a financial goal. And, in addition to numbers of people you want to help. But we have never found anything else that will reward us, because you can be a global director in $1 million business. Well, 1% of $1 million, that's a $10,000 bonus. And that's not every 3 months, that's every year. Guys, in addition to everything else, it's amazing. Really is.
It so is.
Thank you, Rick and Louisa, for inviting us.
You are very welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate
We
it.
have a question in the chat. Rick, how did you do your 8 hours a week? Was it all one day, if spread out?
That's
What was
a
it?
good question. First of all, the 8 hours a week was not each of us individually doing 8 hours. That was total between the two of us. 8 hours a week. And we achieved what we achieved, just 8 hours a week. But the 8 hours a week, and this is a good question, because this is important. It's important that you be involved and active and touch your business every single day. So what we did, combined between the two of us, spend at least an hour and a half combined every single day. I think we took Sundays off, but, and it may not have been an hour and a half. We didn't break it down that directly so that it was exactly an hour and a half. It might have been a half an hour one day and 2 hours the next day and 45 minutes the next day and an hour, 45 minutes the next day, but it added up over the course of a week, working daily to 8 hours a week. And we achieved it that way. So what's really important, as I said in the beginning, when I shared that disclaimer language with you, to treat your OPTAVIA business as a business. If you want to earn an income that will represent what you define as abundance. If you don't do that, then what you're basically doing is treating your business as a hobby, and you'll get hobby results. And that's okay. There's a lot of coaches, that's right. There's a lot of coaches who don't do more than that, and they don't get much more than hobby income, if that. But the ones who treat it like a business are willing to say, okay, I've done hard things in my past. I've learned new things. I've gone to school. I've gotten an education as a CPA, as a teacher, or whatever. You made a decision when you did that I'm going to do what it takes, as my goal is to become a teacher, to become a CPA, to become whatever I did. Or even if it doesn't involve college, you had a goal, you did what it took to reach that goal so you could have a life that you believe that goal would give you. This is no different. It's a business. We came into this as well, as did Pat, as did Stacy, as did everyone else. We had a picture of our life, that being an OPTAVIA coach, when we saw what the compensation could deliver to us, like Pat, we saw what kind of life we could have. not just from an income standpoint, but I told you, we wanted time freedom. We wanted to live a life as present, fully present moms and dads, and we needed income to do that because food isn't free and keeping a roof over our head isn't free. And we wanted to be able to maintain the lifestyle we had. And we saw that this compensation plan would allow that. But we understood that we weren't successful in the legal profession because we treated it like a hobby. We did what it took to be successful. And we understood that this is no different. We had to learn from the ground up exactly what to do, talking to our coach. What do I do first? And do that and repeat it, and then learn the next step and repeat it and do the next step and repeat it with just 8 hours a week.
Yeah. What I did was I was a court reporter, so I had to drive to work 2 hours, downtown LA. It took me 2 hours on the freeway to get there, 2 hours to get home. And there's downtime when you're on the job and when you have moments of time. And so if you're intentional and you have a plan, you just take those opportunities. You talk to people in the car, on your drive, on your lunch hour, on your breaks, you text, you talk, you squeeze things in because you have intentionality behind it. And when
Correct.
there's a will, there's a way, and you just make it happen. And I was excited. So I couldn't wait to get a break so I can call somebody or talk to somebody or reach out to somebody, because it was fueling my fire because I was helping people and it was exciting.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I haven't, go ahead, Pat. I'll share my next thought.
Anybody here? How about your car? Did you ever feel like your car was your university, Louisa?
Oh.
Also, turn that radio off and put a training in. Mine still is. I had my nails done yesterday. I'm listening to recording from All In.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Use your moments.
touch your business every day. It doesn't have to be for 4 or 5 hours, but even if it's a 45 minutes or an hour, I still touch it, 6 days a week.
I want to share when we were at convention that first time, and I was a baby coach, just helping some people, my mommy friends, really didn't have a focus or a goal or anything. It was just really just purely trying to help people. And we went to convention. Rick came with me just because, no biggie. Well, when we walked out of that convention 4 days later, he didn't say much the whole time we were there. He was listening. And I was excited to learn more things about health. And, we walked out and I'll never forget the moment. We're walking through an aisle of tons of people leaving the convention. He turns to me and he said, "We just found our new business." I looked at him and he said, in my 40 years as a lawyer, I have uncovered every scam. I have looked at every business model there is. I have been around the block in 40 years of defending companies and businesses, et cetera. I have never seen a company with more integrity and a better business model in my 40 years of performing the legal services. And I know where he's been. And I'm like, wow. He's like, "Yeah, we just found our new business and we're going to do exactly what they said on stage. We're going to put one foot in front of the next, and we are going to wean off of court reporter and lawyer, and we're going to create a new life for ourselves of freedom." I'm like, all right, let's do it. But coming from his perspective as a business litigator, lawyer that has seen it all, I trusted that. I took his advice, and honey, you were right on the money.
Hey, Louisa.
Yes.
I love that. I just wanted to add, it's really interesting listening to you and Rick. It's just been a great thing because we've seen, we've all really grown together, which is the amazing thing. And you guys are really two very special people that I just adore and respect and love. And we've been through a lot of stuff together. But, the business of OPTAVIA, if you're new here today, Rick's talking about the numbers, and it's important to know the numbers, and it really parallels your journey to health. The business, I don't know, maybe you and Rick would agree or not agree with me. The business parallels the OPTAVIA program, in that when you begin the program, say you want to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds. Okay, that's your starting point. But the greater focus is now focusing on those 6 macro habits, and the weight organically comes off, right? Because you're losing the weight, you're incorporating the macro habits. And what you and Rick just laid out today so beautifully, you look at the number that you want in income, and you simply incorporate the strategies and steps that you and Rick just shared, not being hyper focused on that number, but on the little things in those 8 hours that you guys intentionally focused on every single day, and not just being focused on the 10,000 a month, the 20,000, but doing the 6 things that like Dr. A talks about in the jar, the 6 macro habits, if you focus on those, you're going to get to the healthy weight you want to get. And with you and Rick sharing, okay, if this is a number you want, here's the compensation, but then focus on the steps. It's predictable transformation in the program, predictable transformation within the business. So that's the parallel I've always taken. And this has been fantastic. I've seen this compensation so many times, but that elite bonus, you're like, wow, that is crazy. So thank you. I hope that was helpful.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Margaret, and we love you too. Thank you so much. That's part of the joy of being a coach, is not only helping people get healthy and grow a business and get paid well for it, but we get to be around a group of people who have a heart just like that. And OPTAVIA coaches are the most amazing people in the world, bar none, because that heart for helping people just comes out of their pores. And when you get to be around people like that on a consistent basis, even on Zoom, it's one of the best things in the world.
Pat had her hand up. You're muted, Pat. You're muted, Pat.
To that point, and for new coaches on this call, and I know there's a lot of veterans here, and it's so great to see all of you. But when we started 14 years ago, and in my top row is Rick and Margaret and Louisa, and I know there's others here. We didn't have the tools. We didn't have the systems. We didn't even have permission to all be on a Zoom like this together because we weren't all on the same teams. So, I mean, hear our hearts and hear our voices. This is, and Stacy, you just haven't been here quite as long. This is the best thing that ever happened. We are more prepared now. Don't feel like it's going to take you as long as it's taken some of us. I mean, the interstates are built. Go for it, guys. I mean, we didn't just, it's amazing what we have. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Clearer.
One of the things I'm going to get emotional, but I'm going to try not to, is all of you people on here that I don't know, whether you're new, whether don't know if you want to do this or not. I'm listening to everyone speak, and I'm getting emotional because I know what's ahead of you. And whether it's $200 in this, I'm going to get emotional. So I'm just going to say this. I don't care. So my daughter's getting married, and I was walking on the beach this weekend, and I wrote a song for her, and I had it sung. Somebody sung it and put it together for me, and it cost $250. And there was a time that I wouldn't have been able to do that at the drop of a hat because I couldn't buy school supplies for my children. Never mind just spend $250 on having a song written for her wedding day. So all of this put together when you leave here today is just really take a look at you in your heart and think about it. Take time just to be with yourself. See what your heart is full of. If your heart isn't full, get it full. We can't give away what we don't have. When you're excited and you're passionate and your heart is full, give that away to people and they will grow and utilize it in their life. However, we all shared on how we utilize it in our life. How do you want to utilize it? What do you want? How do you want to share and serve other people? Because it's going to rock your world. And it's not about the weight and it's not about the mighty dollar. It's about your heart being full and serving other people. And I'm just so excited for everyone on here. And I just had to share that.
Stacy, thank you. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's a perfect example of who we are collectively, each of us individually. Cheryl, did you have a hand up?
Yeah.
Cheryl?
Yeah, I want to thank you, Rick. That was awesome. I mean, I like Stacy, we've heard the comp plan so many times, we've been around, but you just nailed it. And it was very clear. And I really appreciate that and offering that to the wider team here. And I just want to throw in a couple perspectives if there are other health professionals on here. There's a lot of reticence among some health professionals about doing a business. My patients don't buy my services. Well, they do actually, but the thing is, you don't get any money when someone becomes a coach, right? You sign somebody up and you don't get paid for that. You only get paid if they're helping somebody else get healthy. So every single dollar represents somebody else getting healthy. And the the last time we had a full convention, my name was on a list that I had, along with many, had directly or mostly indirectly through our residual comp plan, helped over 20,000 people get healthy. I mean, you can't sit in your office for 100 years and touch that many lives. So, just, seeing this as Stacy and everybody else is saying here is you're just helping other people help other people. And the first time I helped somebody as a physician quit a job that was, I think, literally killing them, literally giving her symptoms that she was coming to see me as a doctor for, and now she was free of that. I mean, it was like, whoa, we don't get to do that as doctors. So this is an amazing opportunity. And Rick and Lisa, this was an amazing opportunity for all these fine folks to see this again. Thank you.
Cheryl, thank you. And I will tell you that you contributed to me and my growth as a coach, because you have been on the doctor panels at the national conferences. And as one of the physicians sharing, your experience as an OPTAVIA coach. And I can't remember exactly what year it was, but you were on more than one. And I will tell you, those doctor panels made a big difference to me. I don't know if you were on the one of 2009 or not, but I sat in that convention and I listened to you and your peers talking about the remarkable positive changes that OPTAVIA and OPTAVIA coaches can make in people's health. And I will tell you, I didn't experience that myself. I had weight loss. I wasn't on any medications. I wasn't yet suffering from the acute symptoms of diabetes and cardiovascular disease and things like that, like many people are. So I didn't necessarily have an orientation to the aha moment happening to me, but it became an aha moment when I saw and heard you and your physician and medical professional peers on stage. So everybody here, please, you have in your hand not just a gift to yourself and your family that you can give, as Stacy mentioned, as I outlined in the compensation plan. This isn't only about us. In fact, it's not about us. And to Cheryl's point, we only get paid if we help somebody first. We don't get paid when somebody signs up as a coach. And unless we help somebody reach what they want to achieve out of life, whether it be health or financial independence, or even just a little bit of financial freedom, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah. I'm pulling myself back into the perspective of a new coach or a newer coach, and looking back in hindsight, get excited, get intentional, get in action. You don't yet see or know the joy and the gratitude of the life that you're going to live. You don't yet feel it necessarily, like we're all sharing, because we've come through and now we have a different perspective, because this has given us an amazing life and gratitude and freedom and finances and health and well-being and all these things. We're bursting with, if you can't see it through all of what we're saying, we're bursting with joy, and we want to give that to you, because why not? You could have it. So I'm just looking back from a new coach perspective going, but how do you do this? And how do you make that happen? And how do I become that? And you just follow the leader and do exactly what your leaders tell you, and you get excited and you take every minute of time and you're intentional and you're in action consistently over time. It just starts to go and grow. And then you start to really reap those rewards and feel it. And then the more that feeling comes, own it and keep moving forward, and you'll be there in no time flat. I mean, really, really, really. So I don't know how else to say it. Yeah.
The only way you don't is if you quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly true. Exactly true.
In the chat, a couple of people have asked for the recording for, Rick and Louisa, if y'all would,
We'll
Yeah.
pass it on to the leaders here, and then
We'll pass it on to the leaders here, and then you can share it with your team.
Thank you. I think it's amazing. And I know, it's a holiday weekend. There are probably other coaches who will benefit, as well as prospective coaches.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I can't thank you enough to all of you for showing up and giving me the opportunity to share with you. I am so grateful for all of you, because you are doing what Dr. Anderson envisioned for us to do. And just to know you, just to, like I know Stacy and Pat and Margaret and all of the leaders that we get to share with, that we've been working with for over the years, and meet new people as we go along, is just a joy for me. And you are all fantastic because you're helping people get healthy. Doesn't matter what size your business is, you're helping people. And that's the game changer that you are. So thank you very much.
We could talk all day, as you can tell, so.
We're
Let's
gonna
go
have a wonderful holiday weekend, everybody. Thanks
Thank
again.
all.
Thanks so much, Rick and Lisa, and all the leaders on the call. I really enjoyed this. It was
Oh,
really
thank you,
great.
Beverly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Beverly.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Have a great
everyone.
weekend.
You too.